Welcome to the New York Weightlifting Podcast. I'm James McDermott, joined by Sara Soto. We're back. It's 2025.
Hello. It is.
Sara, how are you doing in the new year?
I'm okay. I'm still recovering from my meet and all that prep from this past weekend at New York City at the New York City Regional, but doing all right. How about you?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm just trying to get as much done this month as possible to make other months easier. I'm just cramming in just project after project. My taxes, getting my taxes
Oh,
done. If I can get it all done now, because I try to get that stuff done in advance, and then what ends up happening is I do a little bit of prep, and then next thing I know, oh, it's due next week or something like that. So I
yeah.
did all the prep almost for nothing. So I'm just trying to really be efficient. January is just it's the first week of school. Just you're getting all the assignments and then you're getting like little prep things done. So anything I can do to make my life easier later in the year, the better.
I understand.
Because I mean, this is going to be a busy year. I mean, for me, I have the regional coming up in April. Then the CrossFit Games is coming to Albany, and we'll have
Yes.
to do a lot for that. And then, of course, there's the New York State Championships. So I was hoping this was going to be an easy, laid back year. If you remember, maybe I said this. I was
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm looking for less projects, less this, less that. And then all of a sudden, boom, 2025 explodes. So we'll get through it. We'll get through it.
When is the CrossFit Games?
August 1st and August 3rd. To August
Okay.
3rd. That's a
Okay.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
All right. All right.
So it'll
Interesting.
be crazy up here in Albany.
Yes, I saw that announcement and I thought of you.
Yep. We, myself and another one of the coaches from the gym, we met yesterday for 3 hours to start planning everything. What is the schedule going to look like? What's our T-shirt going to look like? What do we need to do for this, that? So the prep work starts now, for August, but it
Nice.
has to.
Yes, it does.
Well, yeah. So in the new year, I'm sure you're working on quite a few things. I am, of course, working on all of my prepping, but I have some other stuff that I'm trying to get done. What are some things that Sara Soto is doing to be successful in general in the new year or in weightlifting?
Oh man. I mean, this is funny because you and I talked a little bit about like what we could talk about today and it being January and new year, resolutions. I never do that stuff, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
I kind of make like loose goals for myself. Like I think to myself, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna not, and just like you, I'm gonna not try to not have quite so much on my plate. But I mean, as of this, January is always a super busy month for me because of the regional, because of taxes, because it's always like the first year, like the first month of the year. So it's like my regular job gets like a little nuts
Mhm.
because everybody's coming back from holidays and time off and stuff. But I don't know if that's going to happen. We'll see.
Mhm.
And then my weightlifting goals, I don't really, or like my outlook for the year, I don't know. That my personal weightlifting goals are always the same. It's just I just want to stay healthy and be able to compete at the 2 meets per year that Kurt kind of always requests of me. So my plan as of this point, I am going to lift at Masters Nationals in Atlanta the first weekend of April, which sadly means I won't be at your regional, which makes me really sad. Like I was thinking about the other day, I'm like, I have to book my train ticket and get the
Yeah.
hotel, and it's like it's so sad. But I'll miss
April's
you
booking
guys.
up.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And then I like a board meeting that we're actually doing around that time too. But and then I'm going to lift at gosh, this is gonna get I'm getting used to Virus weightlifting finals in December, which also I will register to be lifting at the same time which is concurrently happening, the United Masters Weightlifting Federation World Championships, which is taking place at the same time in Daytona. What is that? First weekend of December, I believe. So yeah.
Yeah.
How about you?
I mean, a lot of the same, just getting stuff done. I have a goal of walking at least 7,000 steps a day. So I'm
Mm.
becoming a stepper. I have a little pedometer. I actually have it on me right now. It's it's not like a digital one. It's just one of these ones you like attach to your hip. So if I forget this, I'm losing out on steps, which I forgot it yesterday. And I
Uh,
coached 2 classes, and then I had to walk around my apartment for like an hour just to make sure I hit 7,000. But my goal with it is to walk the equivalent steps and miles throughout the year, from January 1st to December 31st, of going from the Shire to Mordor, because I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan. So
I love it.
I've already mapped it all out. I need like 412,000 steps a month
Oh,
consistently
wow.
to get to the 3,500,000 and something thousand steps that I need to get all the miles and stuff like that. So I predict that in the summer I'll be able to do a lot more outdoors walking and really rack up the steps, plus all the events. So right now I'm just maintaining 7,000, and I think I'm already halfway to that 400,000 for this month. Because not every day is just 7,000 on the dot. I've had some 10,000 days, 13,000 days. So all those extra thousands definitely helps. That's just my activity goal, and I'm starting to become obsessed with it, because the more days I do in a row successfully, the more I don't want to ruin the streak. I'm a streak person. So
I understand this. Yes.
if we get to June and all of a sudden the streak breaks, I don't know what I'll do. Like at that point, like the further we get, the worse of maintaining the streak will be, or the obsession will be. But so yeah, that's just one of the goals. Just, and I want to do one meet this year. I don't know what meet that is. It won't be the state championships. I can't do that again.
That's fun though. That's cool. That's like, you could be like a superstar guest that just shows up at some local meet and does it. That's fun.
Yep. I'll find one meet. The thing is, I have a bunch of them that I'm already signed up to volunteer at. So I just got to find just a random meet and just do that.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy. And at that meet, my goal will be to full snatch with a squat.
Okay.
Tested the waters a little bit in training not too recently, and we were able to do that again. So that's the first time in several years. So I'm excited about that.
Amazing. That is very exciting.
It was with a 7-kilo bar from the high hang, but hey, that's, I was able to hold it overhead and not feel like my wrist is going to explode, and my knees and everything else allowed me to do that. So
that's great.
So
my
that's
God, high hang. Oof.
Yeah. So that's the goal. I'll do one meet, and I must full snatch. Don't care what the weight is, just must do the movement. And then the clean jerk is whatever. Yeah, who cares? We're not friends anymore, me and the clean jerk.
I'm sorry.
We used to be.
It can come back. It can come back.
Yeah, maybe this maybe next year. So we have a lot of things going on in the weightlifting world news. New stuff going on. Friend of the show, our good friend Mike Choi is now the chair of the board, the USAW board, right?
He is correct. Yes. Yeah. He is the chair, and Taylor Harris is the vice chair. And she's in North Carolina. Her club is Heavy Metal Barbell Club out of, I believe it's Charlotte, North Carolina. But yeah. So I'm very excited about it. I think that this is a good pairing. I think we have a really good bunch of people, like from very diverse places and experiences on the board right now. We have, a couple of new independents that we're dealing with, and I'm trying to think of who else. We have some new athlete reps that are exciting with Meredith Alwine and Morgan McCullough. So I don't know. I'm hopeful. I think it's gonna be good. I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
we'll see.
It's exciting news. And I mean, not that we should take credit, but we did have Mike Choi on the show. He got reelected. Now he's the president. I mean, maybe there's some political power behind the New York Weightlifting Podcast. Maybe people out there, if you want to get stuff done, you should request to come on. We'll talk.
Well, let me correct one thing you just said there, though, because this is like a very common misconception. You said that he's not the president. He is just the chair. The president of USA Weightlifting is Matt. It's always the CEO, unless he has, like, as it is in our bylaws, it is always the CEO, unless he has like delegated it to somebody else with like board approval. But
got it.
But yeah, because that's a thing that used to not be the case, but we updated that in the bylaws because we didn't love that the board chair was also the president. There's some weird conflict of interest stuff going on there. So
the CEO is also the president of the board, but not the
No.
chair of the board. Oh, okay.
Not of the board, the
USA
president.
Weightlifting.
Correct.
All
Yeah.
right, president. Okay, so before it used to be the chair of the board was the president of USA Weightlifting. That's how it used to be. So it's it's still a dual role type of thing, right? You have two roles, CEO and president, or back in the day, chair and president. So what is the difference between the chair and a president, or a CEO and a president, if you were to split all those roles up? How does this work?
Sure. So the chair, I mean, again, all this stuff's in our bylaws. Like, there's no weird, like, secret stuff about this, but the chair and the vice chair, well, the chair, first of all, is just there to basically kind of be more of like an administrator, and you are in service to the board. You are like the one who sets up all of the meetings. You're basically the point of contact from which information from the CEO and USA Weightlifting will flow to the board. But, like, that's a thing. But and then the vice chair is just there, and also they run the meetings, like, according to Robert's Rules of Order. So and then the vice chair is there to kind of provide backup. Mike Choi has stated, he wants it to be more of like a co-chair position, but basically in the bylaws, the vice chair is just somebody who is there in case the chair cannot perform their duties. Like, you can cover somebody if they need to take time away or something like that. But
who's the vice chair right now?
So that's Taylor Harris.
Okay.
Yeah. But the president of USA Weightlifting is the one that is kind of known internationally. So this is more of an important role for international relations. So that makes sense, because since Matt is the CEO and he is in charge, he is of the international relations team that we have, which includes, so we have Ursula, we have Paula Aranda, and we have, let's see who else is on there right now. Gosh, I can't remember off the top of my head, but he is the one who gets, kind of leads the international relations team. So that becomes a thing. So that makes sense for him to do it. And also, he is the one who should be going, and his face should be known by all of the other weightlifting federations in the world. He is the president. He is the CEO. That makes the most sense. It should not necessarily be the board chair, because that's weird. That, like, I don't know. Anyway, not going to go into that there, but yeah. Anyway,
cool.
Yeah, so it makes more sense that way. Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, now we know. I'm not sure. That term doesn't seem to get thrown out a whole lot. President of USA Weightlifting. It kind of seems like it's maybe more of a thing of the past, even on like what people talk about. It's mainly CEO, and it's kind of lumped in. And then you have now Mike Choi, who's the chair. So cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I when you said heavy metal barbell club, that's one of the coolest names of a barbell club. Like, there's a lot of them out there that, like, when I see them, like, oh, that's cool, and it kind of makes you wish that, like, you would have thought of it, but you had to have been there back in the day when they did it. I've always admired that one, heavy metal barbell club. It's very cool.
And her husband Sean Rigsby, the one who is like the main head coach, he is definitely a heavy metal fan. So
yeah, that's good. Maybe they'll play more heavy metal at the national meets. put some of that on the playlist.
I doubt it, but sadly.
Put some Slayer on the
oh my God.
So congratulations to Mike Choi and everybody else on the board. Excited to see what comes of all the things that you guys are going to work on. Other news from USA Weightlifting: there's been a renaming and rebranding of the North American Open Series and the North American Open Finals. They're now the Virus Weightlifting Series 1 and 2, right? And then the Virus Weightlifting Finals. So this was announced back, I think, on January 9th, beginning of January. So it's still very new. That's new. Something going on there. So Virus is now sponsoring all of USA Weightlifting, right?
So yes. Oh my gosh. Sorry. I just got if you couldn't probably hear, but that was the Stone Cold Steve Austin theme music. Somebody just tried to call me. Anyway, sorry.
I heard it. Did you listen to the new Disturbed remix of that song?
I did
Oh,
not.
it's on Spotify. So if you have
Okay.
Spotify, you can find it there. I sent you
Okay.
the
Oh
thing.
shoot.
They're putting out a new album, and they redid that song or remixed the song because
Oh my
they did the I think it's called Glass Shatters or something like that is the
God. Something
song
like
that
that.
they did for Stone Cold. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. I'm gonna check that out. But yeah, so we have in our sponsorship, our big sponsorship category, we have now equipment sponsor, and that's still Rogue Fitness.
Mhm.
We still have Nike as a shoe sponsor. They're doing that, and they're providing sponsorship dollars for that purpose. And then our big one for clothing is now Virus. So we have like three very big sponsors. It's pretty cool. But yeah, so Virus, because it's a huge deal. And they are, yeah, we're rebranding the meats in their name, in their
Nice.
likeness.
It's I don't think it was said in the post or anything, but I imagine people might be confused or wondering, why. Is there any thought behind why, like it's not the USA Weightlifting Series One presented by Virus, or like USA Weightlifting's name or branding is somewheres in the meet name? Because like even looking through bars, I feel like now I don't know how it presents in bars that I would miss it where I was always looking for the big
Mm.
North American Open, USAW.
Well, I mean, it's still a very long name because now it's like Virus Weightlifting Series powered by, Virus Weightlifting Series 1 powered by Rogue Fitness. It's super long. Yeah, but I actually don't excuse me, know the details of like how the name the naming came into play. That was something that was like negotiated between the Virus CEO and Pedro Maloney is actually the one who really like brings in the sponsorship deals. He's in charge of that stuff, but of course Matt is involved. So Matt and Pedro, I don't know what happened in the negotiations there too, but if I can get any insight, I will definitely report back. Yeah.
Got it. And also, this is not a board decision. This is a
No,
office decision.
this is operational. So yeah,
Got
this
it.
is sponsorships. That has been for a long time. Pedro Maloney, that's covered under his being an events director umbrella. So yeah, it's all him.
Got it. Okay, so
Mostly
yeah, I
him.
mean,
Thank you.
listeners of the show know by now because we've talked about it a couple times. There is a difference between operations and the office, and then the board and what both groups cover. And the board is more of a broad view, overhead view of the entire organization and the mission, where we're going, and things like that. And then the office handles the day to day, the meets, all that stuff. So if people feel a certain way about it or anything, it's like, well, don't go, the board did this, like, well, hey, send an email and ask some questions, to the people who really made the change.
Yes, yes, definitely. I can say just I obviously can't say like a lot of detail, and I also don't know necessarily everything because that's the whole point. Is like we are trusting Matt to make to guide his staff to like make these sorts of good decisions for USA Weightlifting, and I can tell you that this was a very good one.
So, well, maybe we'll see more about it.
Financially. Yeah.
Yeah, financially, a good one, and maybe more info on that will be released. But if you want to know stuff, don't go DM and Sarah about it. Reach out to USAW, and they will answer your questions.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see how that plays out. Now, other news. One, the Arnold registration uh, closing date is coming up, February 13th.
Yes, but I mean we reached the cap like I don't know, long ago. So
Oh,
I
we
mean, I know
did.
people.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, there's no schedule or anything like that yet because we are still, waiting to see where things shake out. I mean, I already know a handful of people who have withdrawn, so I'm sure other people have gotten in off the wait list. Yeah, so we'll see. But yes, February 13th is the
The
probably
cutoff.
4 p.m. I believe, Mountain Time, so 6 p.m. Eastern is the absolute cutoff to even get on that wait list, I feel. So yeah.
See, I'm not going this year, and I have absolutely no idea what's going on. It's just, no, I had no idea that it sold out. Last year, I would have known this, but now this year, I'm like, yeah, I don't even know. Are people registering? So,
Pretty safe to assume that this meet will always, sell out early, especially because we have that cap that we do. So,
yeah. Is the cap the same as last year? Was it 900 people or something like that?
oh, I feel like it was 1,500 this year. Maybe
Okay,
I'm wrong,
15.
and I can't remember how they split it in terms of like I think they gave a few more to university than they did last year. I cannot remember. Do not quote me.
Hmm.
It's been a while since I've looked at that information.
Yeah, the more we talk about the Arnold, because before we pushed record here, we were talking a little bit about it. The the more I get the FOMO, the more
I know.
I'm like, because it's such a fun, like, even though it is hectic and crazy, that's part of the fun of this one, is a little bit of just the chaos and the busyness and all the other things going around. Like, and even though like I'm kind of over the expo part of it, for some reason I just want to walk around that room like and not buy anything. It's just a weird. I keep thinking back to last year and how much fun it was, and uh
Yeah.
I just gotta let that pass. Just let it
Yeah.
pass.
Yeah.
It'll pass.
We'll see. I'm planning on not, but like we discussed, it's like who knows if something magical happens and I can get a cheap flight, I might show up for like a day or two or something like
Yeah.
that because it is a relatively easy flight. It's not like going to California or anything like that. So we'll see.
Yes. And I mean, last year I vowed that that this year I would fly instead of drive, and now no one on the team was really interested in going, and we decided to have a more chill start to the beginning of the year, which I'm really glad about. Like we don't, no one is doing a January meet. We had like 2 or 3 January meets last year, and then we
Mm,
went to the Arnold, and then we did the regional in April, and now this is the first time in several years that no one on my team is doing a meet until the regional. We're just going to train.
wow, that's
And
cool.
yeah, everybody's really happy about it because yeah, even since reopening in like 2021, Haley and Renee did I think possibly the Arnold, but it was online or something like that,
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
virtual. So, and then we did some like the online qualifiers. So, like every year, there's always just been stuff, and this is the first year in a few that we don't have anything going on other than just it's back to training.
I
Is
love
That's
that for
nice.
you and your programming. That's great.
Yeah, yeah. Now we don't
Much
have to
easier.
peak twice. We got like a nice solid 12 weeks. We're in a squat pro. It's nice. Like
Yeah,
so yeah, I can't believe we're already on week 3, almost done with week 3. It's flying by
I
already,
know.
but
I know. It's crazy. I know.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think I don't know, but like, yeah, maybe you guys should consider coming to Texas. And I mean, oh, that's pretty close to the States. Never mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will be a competition secretary for that meet, so I will definitely be at that one. But yeah,
Very
and I'll be
cool.
at Nationals week. I don't know how long. Hopefully, it would be lovely to do all week, but it's just so crazy to take a week off for a vacation time to go work my butt off.
Yeah. That's I mean, see, that's the thing, like, I would love to go for, like, the full week, but it's like, I know myself, I would like it's like, you can't work 6 AM to 10 PM all those days, but I would
Yeah,
want to stay busy, and, of course, you can go out and, like, explore the surrounding area, but, like, it's already so expensive just getting out to the meets. It's like,
I
now I gotta
know.
go out and try to do stuff,
I
so
know. That one
yeah,
in
so it's
particular
like
too. Like, I mean, even just being a week is like Colorado Springs coming from the East Coast is really not ideal because it's like usually 2 flights. I don't think there are any direct flights unless you are west of Chicago. Like, I don't even know if you can get a direct flight from Chicago into Colorado Springs. So it's like,
mm,
I mean, I've been there so many times now, it's crazy, but it's like you have to, I usually will end up flying into Denver because that one's always very easy. And then
yeah.
getting like, they're like different shuttles, or sometimes friends rent a car and I can hitch ride with them. But to get there, because it's about an hour and a half, maybe a little under 2 hours to get from Denver to Colorado Springs, depending on traffic. But that flight is expensive. So
Yeah, I can just imagine.
she comes sometime though for that one because
Yeah,
venue is pretty cool for like our purposes. It like feels really nice in there, and
and
that
I will
town is cool.
Yeah, I would like to see the I guess the Olympic town, or because the history there, and the museum, the Olympic museum is
Yes,
there.
it's so cool. The USOPC museum. Oh my gosh, it's so
Yeah,
cool. Yeah.
that would be, I would definitely enjoy that. So that would be part of it. But you know what? Just someone's got to qualify, and while they're going qualify, and I'll go out. It's like, you need to bring me there. Like why won't you bring me there?
Right.
All my athletes. So
Right.
next, our final piece of USAW and IWF weightlifting world news is the youth weight classes were announced. So they announced the new senior and master weight classes end of December, right? Right. Was that when that happened?
No, it was before. It was right around like Thanksgiving time, because I
Okay.
remember talking to JP when we were both on the same flight going to Tucson about how the last thing he needed on his plate at that point was the announcement of the new weight classes.
Yeah. Well, now they have the whole thing updated, so now you have the youth weight classes there, and that was nice to get that, because I had been kind of waiting to get that information to finish the entry form for the state championships, because we kind of need to update those, and I didn't want to post it without the youth classes. So
Totally. Yeah.
the board just met, the New York WSO board just
Mhm.
met on Sunday. We approved the entry form, we approved the budget, we approved the meet sanction. I'm going to hopefully put in the sanction today, so we'll get the state championships officially on the calendar. I've already been talking to the hotel, giving them all my demands, reaching out to volunteers. We have our first volunteer. All right, we have to give a shout out. We have our first official volunteer outside of the board or anything for the New York State Championships. Can you believe it already?
Who is it?
It came in maybe a couple weeks ago, like right at the beginning of the year, unsolicited. Mr. Greg Decker from Marley Barbell Club.
Hey!
Yeah,
Shout out to Greg. I love Greg. Wonderful.
yep,
He's been trying to, and I believe he's trying to come work at the regional too, right?
yep. He'll be working
Yeah.
at my regional. He'll be working at Joe's regional.
Yes.
He's working at the Avitas meets that they're going to host. So
Yes.
he
Yeah,
is
he's
hitting
been
the ground running with all the just getting experience and
yeah. I
technical
think
official
he's
stuff.
because he's been talking to me a bunch because he wants to test to become a national referee or TO at some point, and he I think is planning on coming to Daytona to work a bunch, to get his sessions so that he can test
Nice.
in
Yeah,
2026. So yeah,
that's
awesome.
gonna be
So
awesome.
proud of Greg. That's great. Yeah.
And
I love to hear that.
I wonder if he's gonna volunteer at the Arnold RA, because I know he went last
He's
year.
not. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We had a discussion, and it's the thing that you and I talk about often, like, and just like you said, it's like you're kind of over the expo hall and stuff. It's just like,
Yeah,
the people that do it all the time, and like it's fun if like you're going with your whole club maybe to like do, have like some like team building kind of stuff and like support
yeah,
each other. But if you don't really have a lot of teammates going and it's kind of just like you and your coach, it's like, and you've done it a whole bunch, and you're kind of like, I'll do something else. But that's what he
yeah.
said. Daytona, he said, I like Daytona.
Okay. Well, he's gonna get it done for sure, and then next year he'll take the exam, he'll pass. I know Jean from out here, he's working towards it,
Yes.
and I know Sam is working towards it. So, not that it's a competition, but the ADK might have eventually the most national referees in the state. That's what we're going for.
Could be. Could be. Gosh, I don't even know how many New York City has. But yeah.
That's including myself, that would be 4. I don't
Wow.
know who else from up here might be working towards it, but yeah, interesting.
Huh. Yeah.
Okay. All
I
right,
love it. I'm
we're
into
going for
it.
the record. We're making it competitive. That's what we do.
Do it. Do it. That is one that I am absolutely on board with.
Yeah. So you heard it here first. So thank you so much, Greg, for volunteering already. It's always, I mean, we already assume that board members will be helping out, but really the board needs a lot of support because we are already doing a lot of things. And it's best for us to be in other positions instead of stuck for 2 hours in a referee chair or something like that. So to have someone already on the list, I can put them in the spreadsheet. Boom, we filled one spot. We're like 1% full now on the spreadsheet. uh, that's that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna give him a shout out soon on the on Instagram too.
Love it. Yeah, that's great. Gosh, you made me think of something, and then we started talking about Greg, and now I can't remember. But something about states, I don't know. Don't
States.
remember.
Well, we're trying to
Don't
get
know.
you to states. We're trying to get everybody to states.
Yes, of course.
Um, let's see. We do have a new medal design coming up, so that'll be announced soon.
Very
It's
cool. Very
essentially
cool.
the design you see on the T-shirts and the banners, just in metal form. Because we are very
That's
low
smart.
on the original one, so it's time to update that. What else? Yeah, that's really
Consistent
it.
branding. I love it.
Yep. Consistent branding and a lot of work is already being done on a seat. People don't even know. Like we started working on on this year's states last year because of course we had to meet, revise the documents, and then now we finalized it. And also many phone conversations. What about this? What about that?
Mm.
We're gonna try to get matching PA systems, so like speakers and microphones that will be able to integrate into the live stream. That way
Mm.
you can, because that has been something that we've struggled with, is having the live stream pick up the audio from the speaker
Oh, interesting.
and not outside like the interference audio, like the plates dropping, stuff like that. So we're hoping for better
Mm.
sound and get the music going and that whole thing. And oh, and I know you recently have been playing around with the OWL referee system, and you typed up all the state records in an Excel spreadsheet, so that way. Well, how did that go? Well, let's go right to talking about the regional here. So
Okay.
how did that go with the way it should work is if someone makes a lift that breaks a state record, it'll flash on the screen, right? Just like at the World
It'll
Championship.
say record attempt. It'll actually
Oh,
flash that. So everybody knows when that person is walking out to the platform that
even
that
better.
attempt is, yeah, it's super cool. And then of course if it's made, I don't know if it flashes. Unfortunately, no new records were broken. No records were broken
Oh,
at
no
the
one was going for
regional.
one.
We were,
Okay,
we were, we were joking though with Mo, Michael Mo, our New York State or like a national champion.
that's
Sorry,
it.
but we were, because when he was lifting, we were saying we were just gonna, like, just for kicks. Kurt was like, I'm gonna put a crazy number on the bar just so we can see that, because he knew I did so much work. Like that. It literally took me 2 days to get all of the records put into that spreadsheet system because of masters. Like at first I did like the youth, and I did the juniors, and I did the seniors, and I was like, oh, that was easy. And
It's
then
so nice.
I was like, I have to stop. I have to take a break and come back to this tomorrow because it's so much. But like, here's the problem though. Now it's like, now everything, all the weight classes are going to change. So it's like, what? We're going to have to deal with that. But at least we know that we have that
Yeah,
spreadsheet. It should be easy to figure out and change and stuff in there. But
yeah.
whatever we end up doing. But yeah. But anyway, the meet was great. It was awesome. We did 2 days like we usually do. The Shockingly, this time the women's day was the most raucous and like huge crowd. Usually it's kind of the other way. It has been
Really?
like, yeah, it's weird. But like the men always have like a steady build of spectators throughout the day, and then it just gets like nuts and it's really loud, and like, there's a serious amount of like bro energy at the end of the day at a Murder Pros meet on the men's day. But the women's day, it was insane. Like, I mean, I was sitting there, me, I'm a total sap, and I was just like sitting there like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like, like I'm super emotional about it. But also, this was the first time we did live commentary, just like they do at
Yeah, I
national
wanted to
meets
hear about
for our
that.
prime time sessions. So that was a little bit of a challenge because I had so much on my plate already dealing with getting the meet ready. But I had my assistant meet director this time, Carl Nelson, helping me out, and he is very tech savvy. Like, he has done, he's been in IT, and he knows all that stuff. So he was able to set that up a little bit better. Like because we needed a whole nother station and system obviously set up with like headphone mics and things like that, and like, then we also still had the speaker, doing their thing at the other table. So it was a little bit of a challenge, but I have to go back and listen to it. But and I haven't really gotten any feedback, so I don't know if anybody listened, but we did. We had JP Nicoletta, the USA Weightlifting COO. I don't know if we've talked about that either, because he has been named that since our last podcast.
That's
but
cool.
Local hero JP Nicoletta.
Who commentates for the World Championships and the Olympics?
Yeah.
Did JP do the Olympics?
I don't think he's ever done Olympics, but he does provide he goes and helps NBC and helps them with their research, so that those commentary folks that are doing it internationally, they have all the information and research, and they sound like pros because of JP. So,
look at that.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that. New York. Just want to remind New York COO and providing notes for the Olympics.
Totally. But he was great. So he came in on Saturday and did the commentary for prime time for the women. He couldn't make it on Sunday, and he was actually really sad. He told me after the meet on Saturday that it was super great to be in a local environment where, lots of people were there cheering and like losing their minds over, like just like their friends lifting. And it made him, he said it served as like a nice reminder of like why we do this, just because it's so much fun in those environments. But so he and Lisa Yang did commentary on Saturday. Lisa is my bestie. And Sunday we had Lisa and Zara Hannaford, one of our other club members, doing that. But I don't know, it seemed like fun. They JP taught Lisa how to pull up the data for people, even though like she doesn't have access in bars to do all of this stuff. I don't know what it is. Maybe I can help you find that too if you need it. But it was cool to be able to like see everybody's results, everybody that was registered for the meet, so that she could pull it up and give like, oh, this person's best was this, and so I don't know. I think it went pretty well, but I'm going to go back and listen. Should be fun.
Yeah, I think the more we incorporate stuff like that at the local level, the better, because it gives the athletes too a different experience. I'm sure many of the athletes lifting at your meet have never lifted when they're on a live stream and there's live commentary. Maybe the only one who has, if they even had it during his session, would be Michael Moe at the national championships. I don't know if they commentated that session. They could have, because it would be an A session.
Yeah, they probably did. I mean, I think people who at this point now, like I know Beth Terranova also was in primetime. She got some commentary. She's had commentary at like the AO2 last year. So I mean, a few of them have, but like you're right. What a cool experience, like a local meet, and you're already getting like bells and whistles. Like
and that's what we've been trying to do with these regional meets, and really any of the meets that those of us who've been running meets frequently, like we try to put a lot of bells and whistles on it, and it's not for us. It's just because we want to keep raising the bar and making it better for the athletes. Joe and I are big on making gift bags and having all kinds of goodies. Last year I had teddy bears as prizes, that had the 80K stuff. So just making it cool and unique and memorable experiences versus just all right, there's the platform and you can do that. You can't just do the bare bones. But if you can do something a little extra, it makes it fun for people. And we want people to stay in the sport and enjoy it. And now you've raised the bar with the commentary. So now me and Joe got to figure out, all right, how are we going to answer back to this? Because it does get a little competitive. It gets a little competitive.
I don't do gift bags and teddy bears and things like that are like that's that's also very cool. So it's like I'm sure athletes would appreciate that. Like that is definitely a thing that it's cool that everybody has like something different that makes theirs special and unique.
I'm doing the teddy bears again this year.
You are?
Yeah, I like it's a great best lifter prize. Like it has the logo for the 80K on the front. And then on the back of it, it's got 2025 or 2024 best lifter. Now I'll just say 2020. So it has the date on it. So I'm like, all right, they already won a medal. I'm going to give you a repeat of the same medal or a plaque. I think a teddy bear is cool. Like you just start collecting bears.
Agreed. It's cool.
And I'll do it the same way as last year, where I have the dogs, the rabbits, the pandas, all that stuff.
That's right. And then there's a variety.
Yep, there's a variety, and then the kids get to pick first, and then the juniors, and then the seniors, and then the masters, because yeah, it just goes that way on who gets.
I love it. I love it. I was going to say two little special notes of appreciation from the New York City Regional. Joe Triolo, who is now on the board of directors with me, he hung out all day Saturday and worked. It was great. Him and Jerry showed up in their IWF jackets to do all their jobs, so they looked very spiffy. But yeah, so they were there all day Saturday for every session. And then Sunday, Jerry lifted in the first session in the morning.
Nice.
Did very well. I mean, he was like, I think he told me he didn't even realize he had mathed wrong. And he realized at the end that he actually was 10 kilograms or 12 over the, he was trying to just get the qualifying total so that he can lift at the United Masters World Championships and you know, virus weightlifting finals in
It'd be hard to remember.
That was so many things, but in December. So he was like 12 kilos over the qualifying total. He was like, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I said, yeah, you are. And then Jerry continued to work for the rest of the day after he changed out of his clothes. So he was there every session of our meet, and I appreciate him greatly. I appreciate Joe for coming out. It was really cool and special to have Joe Triolo, Jerry Dunn, and JP Nicoletta in the house on Saturday. Like, oh my God, like that was like all of my fondest memories of like competing at Lost Battalion Hall were like, it was like they were all there. And
if
then
there was ever a time where someone had a rules question, you guys would have sorted it out right away.
Yeah. It was kind of awesome because like there was one time where Jerry and Joe were marshaling, and there was like something had happened with the computer system, like some entry, and it was so funny because my instinct is to run over, and I ran right over to the marshal's table, and I was ready to like help them, and like literally JP was right behind me because that's his instinct as well to do that for national meets. So it was just really funny to like have us both meet over there, and we're like, what do you need? But yeah, so I don't know, we were talking about that, and it was cool. We had like some talks about some other like technical committee kind of things that we were just talking about. But yeah, that was great. And then the other thing that was really awesome and unexpected was that I don't know if you're familiar with him, the Olympian Alexei Turokty from Ukraine.
Yeah.
He's moved around a lot, but I've heard he's settled in Brooklyn now. But completely unexpectedly, he showed up at the meet on Saturday before women's prime time. And yeah, and he called me over because the person who was with him, Rufat Semenov, he had a whole bunch of, he was like helping with translating and stuff. But it's funny too because we have so many Russian speakers in at our meets that it was like he had endless people to talk to. But anyway, he pulled me over to the side and he opened his backpack and he had all of this stuff because he has a brand. What is it called?
A warm body, cold mind.
Yes, I always swap them when I say it. So thank you.
I hope I'm guessing. I think I did.
No, yeah. But he had a whole bag full of stuff and he just gave it to me and he was like, here, use this for prizes. So all of our lifters, the borough winners and the strongest in New York City people, they got a lot of goodies from Mr. Turokty. So I really appreciated that. He came back for men's prime time too the next day. It was awesome. Yeah, it was really
let him lift. Like, all right, he's gonna do a little,
right?
A little exhibition, unofficial. Do some big lifts, maybe a complex.
Yep, right. But yeah,
well, that's awesome.
Neat. Yeah,
cool. Turokty there, just Olympians just randomly walking into the gym, giving out prizes, and then you had the three amigos there. Which I mean, look at the history there. Like that, you get the COO Hall of Fame, NYWSO Hall of Fame member Jerry Dunn, and NYWSO Masters Hall of Fame Joe Triolo. So, and I saw Joe in December at the Nick Curry, and his knee is much better because he had a procedure. So I swear he got taller. He got taller or I got shorter, and I hope it's not the other one.
I forgot to tell him that you said that. That's so funny. Yeah.
But I mean, I'm so happy for him because he, I know he was in pain before, and now he just seems so so light on his feet, so youthful, so happy, and it's just great to see people
Totally.
like that.
Yeah, he is very, very strict about his PT. So
Yeah. Oh, I can believe it.
yes, yes.
Yep.
So he's dividends is paying off in dividends. But yeah.
And now on to the next one, right? You got the Murder Crows Open coming up in June.
Yeah, well, yeah, it'll be May 31st and June 1st.
Okay.
We're trying to like keep it far enough away from
Yeah.
nationals and then also not have it on Memorial Day weekend. I mean, I think most people wouldn't like that. I don't know. I
Yeah.
personally would because it would mean that I would get the Monday after the meet off, just like I just
Yeah, that would
but
be nice.
yeah, so we'll do it then and also
And that's going to be the
before it gets
10-year anniversary, right?
well, it's technically the 11th, but of course 2020 was a no
Yeah.
good. So that last year should have been the 10th, but this is actually the 10th carrying whatever the event actually taking place. That's how we
Yeah.
say. So
Yeah, that's
yeah.
got to be like it's like
Speaking of
you
streaks
just
being
get
broken.
yeah, you just a race like it melts together. You're like it's that's 2020 and 2021 are just 1 year,
Yeah. Yeah.
so it still counts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think any streaks broken for that should be held against someone. Like the
Asterisk.
big yeah, the big one was I remember hearing Jim Schmitz had been to every national championships for like 50 years, and then that was he couldn't go to that one because of traveling or something. Did you remember hearing that?
I don't know. It might have been Worlds, maybe. Because he goes to the World meets all the time.
Yeah,
That's his thing. So I don't know because national championships. I mean, he still technically could have done it because we did it virtual instead, if you recall. But
Maybe
yeah.
it's
So
Worlds then. I know it was some
yeah,
kind of a record where I was like, whoa, that's like a 30, 40,
yeah.
50 year record that it
It
kind
was
of
probably Worlds because I do think they did Worlds, but it was like super like one of those things with all the travel restrictions that were on people, so he probably
yeah.
couldn't make it to that one. But yeah, whatever. Yeah, that you're right, that shouldn't count.
Yeah, yeah, it can't take that away from people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, awesome. Yeah, so more meets are coming. We
Yep.
do have some things going on in the WSO, some news, not a whole lot, but a couple things. I already talked about what the board's working on with states, but we do have the coaching development scholarship, the women's coaching development and the BIPOC coaching development scholarship. The deadline is coming up on the 31st,
Oh,
which I
okay.
believe is a Friday, right? Let me look. Yep, it's a Friday. So wow, that's next week. Next week's the end of January already. Who decided that? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, so time is running out to fill out an application. So make sure you do that. Email it to me. I already have a few. And with that, USAW is gonna help support a few of them, and we're gonna support a few of them. And all the application winners also get a year's worth of USAW membership. So, if you're going to be involved in coaching and working with athletes and stuff, that'll help you out because I mean, coaches, they don't make a lot of money and they put in a lot of time on in athletes and working at gyms. So that's a nice little way that USAW is helping out, so that's pretty cool too. And should hopefully help people stay active with doing stuff.
Yes, I love that though. Yes, January 31st. I'm going to make sure my people know that.
Yep, January 31st. We have the state rankings up. I posted that like a week or two ago. So and all that's public. Like if you go to bars, I should actually you know what? Let's do a little screen share. I should probably just show it right on how
Yeah.
to find these things. I don't know if I've ever done this. Now, if you're just listening to the audio, you're not going to be able to see what I'm showing, but I will talk us through it. So I'm going to share my screen. Well, so far, no internet snafus. I know I shouldn't say that because now it's going to happen, but can you see the screen that I'm on right now?
Yes.
So this is the state rankings page on nywso.com for the current year. And if you wanted to see 2023, 2022, you would just click those highlighted, years there, and it'll take you. So here, I'll just do it. 2023 opens up a new tab, and then you scroll down, and then you have the option to go back to 2024 or 2022. So you can see the previous years, and it has the athlete, the weight class, their division, the total, because they're ranked on total, and whoever had the highest total in a weight class and age group is the number one person in the state for that stuff. Then it has the date that the total was lifted on and the event. So you can scroll through and see all of the women's results and then all of the men's results and see how you stacked up. And I did a little bit differently this year. Uh, I'll go to 2023 here. I originally went, by division. So you see, I have all the open women, then all the open men, and then the under 13 women, then the under 13 men. This time, I just kept all the men's and women's together as a progression. I don't know which one's
Okay.
better, um, or if I should go back and change the other ones. What do you think about this?
I am a bad person to ask because I feel like you should ask a coach who like looks at these things a lot more. Maybe
And
maybe
that's what I was trying to
Amy or
think of.
Bryant can help what they think. Yeah, because it's like I don't know, because like also seeing how like the juniors or and the youth are under at the bottom, like maybe they should go at the top. I don't know because I'm not looking through this information quite so much. I think
Yeah.
as everybody else.
Yeah, this time I did like all the women's results together. That way it's like you kind of know, like I just have to scroll through, okay, I'm looking for the junior women. They're right here, right after
Yeah,
the youth and the teen groups. And then of course the masters would all progress in in age order
yeah,
versus
yeah,
2023. If you want to find the 35 masters women, you gotta like you gotta go through all of this stuff. Um, yeah, I don't know, something to think about. But what I did think was cool, I have it up here. Some clubs are starting to use this
yes,
information for promo stuff, and I thought
yeah,
this was awesome. And this is why I put this stuff out there. Like anything that we put out from the WSO that's like data like this, records, state champions, rankings, all that stuff, clubs should totally use this to promote your success and highlight your
yeah.
athletes. And I saw
They
Griffin
did
put this
one that
post
was
out.
awesome, and Brooklyn Training Hall did some cool one too. Yeah,
Yep, yep,
that's beautiful. Everybody's got these awesome designers doing stuff now. It's great.
yeah. Well, I think the designer is either Bryant or Amy. I'm pretty sure they do all this in house. They have many skills digitally. Um, so yeah, this is pretty cool. And this is, I mean, this is something like their parents could print out and frame and put it on the wall. I mean, that's like the way it looks is such a great. These photos are great.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, highly recommend clubs do stuff like this. Like put it out there on what you accomplished the year before and the outstanding athletes or any awards that we put out. Repurpose that stuff or share it and use it to promo your brand and your grow your club.
yeah.
That's why we have it all out there.
Mhm, mhm.
So if you go to the Sport 80 website, you'll get to this screen where it wants you to log in. There's this little shaded box down here with important stuff. You have to make a donation. So if you want to donate to USAW, recover account if you can't remember what your login was. But then these down here, this is how anyone can access the rankings. And this is where I found all the data. Or you can find past meet results or upcoming meets. So if I click rankings, it has all of the age groups and everything right here. And I'll just click open women view. And now I can decide to change the year. So I'll just change the year here to 2024, January 1st. And I'll just leave it to now. We'll see what happens. I'll pick a weight class. I can pick a club. So if I want to look up an lifter from a club, or for our purposes, a WSO. So you can also see
Mhm.
maybe you wanted to know who the top ranked uh, 45 women's lifter from New Jersey was or South Carolina because you want to see how you stack up. You can do it this way, but I'll just go to New York and see what happens and hit apply. And there we go. And that's exactly who was at the top there, Jessica Kennett. So this shows me the New York athletes, and it should work. Let's see. Let's see what Ohio's doing. So in the 45 weight class, Morgan Stanley is the top ranked person, and you can like compare totals.
Mm.
So this is and also it'll show you what the national ranking is too. When you see the rank, that's just their rank in their WSO. Then there's the national ranking as well, and this is where you can start to figure out what who are the peeps out there in your your weight class or division that you're going to try to be competing against. And if you click this, now it shows me all the meets they've done. Literally
Wow.
all of them. So I can look back all the way to 2022 was this athlete's first meet at the T3 Open. So yeah, this is all public for anyone to take a look at. If I go all the way back, I can look up event results. So let's say you want to see what people did at the Arnold last year or national championships or the Heartland Open, or look right here, NYC Regional and Open, and it tells me 79 results were submitted. So 79 athletes. If I click this, here we go. Here's the results. I can see all the lifts, the best snatch, best clean jerk listed separately. I can see the total. I can even see the body weight that people, had there. And again, if you're competitive with someone or you just want to scope out the competition, maybe you're thinking about doing this meet next year. You want to see, you can look up several years worth of New York City regional results and be like, okay, what's typically happening in the open men's 81 kilo category, and make a decision. So it's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And right up here, lifter name. Let's say if I was looking for myself, and my name was Adam, I'll just type in Adam.
I'm trying to think if we had an Adam.
There we
We
go,
did.
Adam Sagan.
Sagan, yeah, from up in Buffalo, came
Yep.
down to.
So even if you're just looking for your own results, you could just type in your name up there and be like, what did I lift? What was my body weight? If I go to upcoming meets, this is a quick and easy way just to get to, there's other ways to find this right here on USA Weightlifting's website, but this is how you can do it through bars without having to log into bars. And then you can just type up here. So let's type in virus. Let's see what's happening. There we go. Virus Weightlifting Series 1 powered by Rogue Fitness. And if I click that, it has just some general info. But if I click, let's say enter now, which hopefully I don't accidentally, well, it's sold out. And here's the entry form and the meet organizer stuff. Oh, Pedro's got his phone number out there. Wow. I wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't either.
Wow.
I wondered, but it's probably his USA Weightlifting phone number, to be fair.
Okay, all right.
Like they all get they'll have specific, the directors of their departments all have their own phone, an actual work phone. So yeah.
Okay, all right. I was gonna say, I don't know if I was Pedro, if I'd want my number out there.
No.
And if you click entry list, here's everybody currently entered into the meet. And you can, if you want to see more athletes per page, you can go up to 50. There are 984 athletes for the Arnold, and then the rest would be the university. So, and then, you can go through this up at the top. See, the downside is I don't think you can organize it by club. Can you? No, see, you can't.
No,
so let's say if we go division, let's see the junior men. So we'll hit that. And let's say we want to see the junior men in, why is it not giving me? We'll just click 96. That's weird that it has 16 to 17 age group, but then, let's just go to the open. Let's go to an open category. Here we go. Open men. And we are looking for, oh, I just didn't scroll down enough. Okay. Open men's 81. If I click that, it will isolate all the athletes here and show me only the 81s.
Did it?
Yep, these are all the 81s.
Sorry, there was a delay. Because I was still seeing Masters women for a second, and I was like, wait, what?
So let's say, so I see here's a Murder Crows athlete, a couple of them lifting the 81.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt could come here. He probably does. Kurt, I bet Kurt knows all this stuff. He could come to this page without ever logging into the bars. They haven't released the start list or anything like that yet, to my knowledge, or to schedule. But he could come here and be like, all right, there's 41 81 kilo open men, and look at the totals and just start to kind of figure out, okay, based on previous years, they would break it up this way, or at least just scope out the competition, right?
Mhm.
So this is all public. You can see the state they're from, their age, their entry total, and these are just the 81 men. So look at all that stuff we can do with bars. I know I complain about bars from time to time, but this is a pretty cool feature that you don't even have to get into the weeds of logging into your profile. Literally anybody could come to this page and use these things.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting better. They're actively making tweaks to that, like, all the time. So, if you have a problem with bars, you should email the USA Weightlifting general email box and just let them know what your issues are. Like, I actually, for the first time, I think I am maybe the first person that was what I was told, via email, to use the waitlist feature that bars now has
Mm,
for a meet. And it took a little getting used to. There's still some things that need to be figured out on the back end there. Like, you don't get a notification if somebody has joined the wait list, which would have been helpful because I
yeah,
didn't know that. And all of a sudden I clicked on that button and there were 3 people that had already signed up and somebody was emailing me saying they were on there. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was pretty easy though after that to when a space opened up to be able to just, you could approve, you could unapprove, you could do a fair amount of stuff. There is still some limitations, but yeah,
I
but it
don't
was still
even know
cool.
if I have the wait list on for the 80K regional. I don't even know.
It was a box you had to check at the beginning when
Okay.
you make the sanction. You can change it later. It's in like
Yeah.
the main meet info part, but yeah, and then it's just sitting in there in bars for you if you want.
Nice. A thing I am missing from Eventbrite was every time someone signed up, you got an email. So I
Yeah.
would just get the emails and I'm like, oh, another person. And then I'm like, okay, I got 10, there's 10 spots left. But now I don't know unless I remember to go check or just make a
Yeah.
issue of checking.
Yeah, it is a thing that, I mean, I wish you could even just, if that was like a box you could like toggle on and off, because it's like at a certain point, like for me, for example, it's like the men's day sold out like very fast, and then the women's was still like hanging around for a while, and like an open. But so it's like at that point I was like, okay, well, I can now, since the men have sold out, I can put together the start list of, and the schedule for that day for sure. So at that point, then it was like I kind of wasn't checking all the
Yeah.
time, because now I'm taking that information and putting it into OWL CMS and getting that spreadsheet ready. So it was like a whole thing. And to keep coming back, I was like, man, I think there was,
Yeah.
at the longest, I think I left somebody like for a week before I noticed and sent them the information out. They didn't care, but then I saw it and I said, oh my God, I feel so bad.
Yeah. Yeah. That is the thing. Like once you take the info from bars to start to build the meet, there's no going back. Like you're in the software typing up all the sessions and all the athlete info and stuff.
Yeah, and especially like entry totals. I was getting emails from people saying like, "Hey, I updated my entry total in bars," which awesome. I'm very proud of you for doing that. But
Yep.
secondly, it's like at that point I have taken the data out and it's in OWL CMS and I'm only tweaking things in there. So I appreciate the emails to remind me to do that, because we don't get a notification that happens.
Wait a minute. Oh wow. So after someone registers for a meet, they can go into bars and change their entry total.
Yes, and I mean that applies to national events too. So this way you can do that if you can't be at like the VFE or
Okay.
something like that. Like, you can do that yourself in bars. And I mean, Pedro is different than us in that he won't even start to think about building that spreadsheet until like everything is that's why it takes so long, is
Yeah. This
because he's waiting until the VFE is done before he goes and puts that information into OWL CMS and builds that spreadsheet. So we're
this
like, you and I are able to be proactive. So
well, this could explain some things on. I had a couple like little odd things for state championships on like oh they're like, oh, I thought my entry total was like 10 kilos higher or something like that. And then I look, I'm like, no, when I downloaded it, it said 180, not 190. And then they're like, well, can I change to 190? that could be why. Maybe they thought they changed it, but I was requesting people email all that stuff to me. Um, okay, I didn't know that they can just go in there and change it. So
There is, oh gosh, let me see if I can find it. Hold on. I was literally just talking about this before we, hold on, because Mr. McKenna, the president of New Jersey, the New Jersey WSO, and I were talking about, he asked if we had a, like how to run a local meet document. And I said, there's actually the one on USA Weightlifting, and there's a
yeah,
whole section for it. And I thought it had disappeared when they did the transition to the new website for USA Weightlifting, but it is, the how-to guides are all back there. And
perfect.
so I don't know, shoot, I'm not going to be able to put this in a chat here, but hold on. I am going to do this because I think this is critical information. Let me do. Okay, so hold on. It is.
You're putting it in the chat here.
I'm going to, yeah, I just got to figure out. It's in. Okay, so the easy way to do this is on usaweightlifting.org. There is, in the drop down menu, there is a resource tab, and if you that, there is how to run an event. But here, I'm going to put it in the chat. So if you click on that, if you want to pull that up on your screen, I will show you.
Okay, let me share screen.
There used to be a page that had, like, on Vimeo, a whole library collection of how to do stuff in bars that you could alter. But anyway, this site is actually pretty awesome, and it has all of that stuff that I thought had disappeared. They seem to have reinstated it. So it has all of the stuff, how to compete, how to run a weightlifting meet. There's how to edit member entries for meets, and that will give you the information. There's results template for the meet director, so you can upload your results after meet. It shows you how to upload results, and there is a template for the USA Weightlifting card that we are all used to from national events. I believe if you buy Blue Owl hardware, there is I think it's in the box that Scott Gonzalez put in there. Like, there's a whole section on the blueowl.nemacor website that has some awesome templates for how to you could take a spreadsheet from bars with, like, all of the meet registration, and you just run it through this converter, and it will automatically put all of the information into a spreadsheet that you can put into OWL CMS. It's like minimal work. It's awesome. But so there's all that stuff, but there's so many resources. I wish they were all in one exact place, but that
Yeah,
one's pretty good. And yeah, you can change your entry total or your weight class that way if you can't make it to a VFE.
very cool. I know that
Yeah.
the Scott and the crew there, he was telling me that not only are they working on that records integration into OWL, which if we haven't really talked about this, but there's many softwares that you can use to run meets for the computer system and whatnot, and this is one that USCW has switched to, which means we've all kind of switched to it. And Scott was telling me that he's working on trying to pull the meet results from USA Weightlifting fully into it. That way,
Oh.
any lifter that's going for a personal competition PR, it'll flash on the screen because I mean, it may not be a lifetime PR, but it is a competition PR, which are two different things. So
Yeah.
that would be pretty cool if at meets all of a sudden the speaker can be like, or at nationals or anything, local or national events, they just be like, oh, all right, here comes Sarasota. Oh, and this is going to be a PR attempt, And then when you
Yeah.
make it, like, it's just it's if anything, like, it'll hype people up and really the crowd has something to do now. Like, it makes it more watchable. Like when you have stuff like that going on, that's gonna be really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway.
Awesome. Well, Sarah, I know you got to get going here
I
in a
do. I
second.
do.
We covered pretty much everything. So,
Good.
first for first show of the new year, we're going to try to get some guests on. We'll have maybe some special shows on different topics, throughout the year, and of course, we'll do our pre-national meet previews. Talk about little tips and tricks for people, and that's about it. Good to be
Yeah,
back.
for For sure.
Awesome. Well, Sarah, where can people follow you?
Sarasota Rep on Instagram is where you can find me, reach me, whatever.
Sarasota Rep. So you have technical official questions. If you have board of director, USA weightlifting type of questions, you can reach out to Sarah. You can follow me at James A. McDermott or follow at New York Weightlifting. And you can message either one of those accounts. There goes scrolling on the screen for those watching. If you have questions about the local organization or anything like that, thank you so much for listening. Sarah, thank you for coming on.
Thank you, James. I'll talk to you later.
Later.